Hello and welcome, my origami seeking risk takers. Today is the second video of Shibuya, and this is a video in the series of Along the Yamanote line. Tokyo's maze of public transport is difficult to navigate, and therefore I recommend to use the poison green line of Yamanote. It goes clockwise and anti-clockwise through Tokyo, and you do not need navigation. It's the easiest way to navigate in Tokyo. If you want to use an app, of course Google is a very great app, or you use the Japan travel app. So last time I reviewed the most recommended places by Tokyo Tourist Board. And if this is your first visit to Shibuya, I highly recommend that video. But if you have been in Shibuya before and want to see something different than the usual, I introduce to you today some things I like to do or how I plan my trip to Tokyo, because I have been very often to Shibuya. Yes, I love Shibuya. I do every time something different, and this is just an example what I do. I love to have lunch in Shibuya. So I found this cute restaurant online, Kumarchan no Onsen. Kuma stands for bear, Onsen hot spring, so it is a bear hot springs. It is actually Japanese food. It's Shabu Shabu, and since you're in Japan, you should eat Japanese food. This is just a playful option on how to eat Shabu Shabu. Of course, there are other restaurants. If you want to search, just go to Google and you find it. But this is very unique because in your cooking bowl is a little bear sitting and is slowly melting away. And once the bear is melted, you can use your chopsticks and dip the thinly sliced meat in the stock or in the broth, and then take it out. It's just wish, it's 1-2 seconds, and then take it out and dip it in a dressing like sesame sauce or ponzu sauce, whatever you like. The restaurant has a sauce bar and you can choose from your favorite sauce there. The atmosphere is very cute, the people are very playful. It's a very unique restaurant, and it's a great way to explore Japanese food. So I highly recommend it. It is in the Assorti building in Shibuya, in the 3rd floor, just above the Avalanche store, which is a jewelry store for rappers, I believe. Next is the Toguri Museum of Art. This is a porcelain museum which is in the back streets of Shibuya. It mainly features Japanese, Chinese and Korean porcelain, and it's a very quiet very quiet museum. Not much crowd, but interesting. I liked it, so definitely I liked it. So I wanted to show you the red light district here in Shibuya. I have never been there. It's at Maru Yamacho, or in Japanese it sounds more like Mari Yamacho, and it's here. And I was there during the daytime. I wanted to see the Lion Cafe, which still has old records. So I thought this is so interesting. However, I went there. I thought the area is very scary. I was there during the day, as I mentioned before, but I found it very scary. And yeah, I was too scared to go into this cafe. I'm not so sure. Here is a write-up. What it says is originally opened in 1923 by Yamadera Yanosuke. The cafe is dedicated to classical music. Yamadera had a background in architecture, and his commitment to the creation of the audiophile heaven was so great that he designed and built much of the original structure himself. Unfortunately, the building was ruined by bombing during World War II and had to be restored in 1950 and so on. So what I want to say, I think it's an interesting cafe. And if you have more courage than me, just go there. I would highly recommend it. And at the same time, you can check out the surrounding area. Another really interesting club is there, or famous club is Womp, which was featured in the 2006 movie Barb from Alejandro Gonzalez. So I went then. That's my dog. He has this. Come here, Anna. Come here. Come here. Come. That's the toy. Hop. Okay, this is my dog. Next is Shibuya Mark City. This is a building I was talking about in my last video. It doesn't matter how often I go to Shibuya, I always go to this bridge and film from there the Shibuya crossing, or photograph the Shibuya crossing. This building is connected to Shibuya station, and from this bridge it's a really nice view, especially at night. But when it's raining, the raindrops are too visible on the windows, so you can't make so good photos. But it depends what angle you go. Marx has also another advantage. In the first floor, or B1, because it is merging into the underground catacombs from Shibuya, going to Shibuya station, it has a food heaven or food court, or it's not a court, it's a delicatessen shop, and you can get really delicious obentos. They are not so cheap, but highly recommended. It's maybe you pay 200 to 300 yen more as usual, but they have different size of obentos, so for everyone there is something. I buy the obento there. When I go back home, I usually sit in the green car. The green car costs you maybe between 750 yen more than on top of your ticket, and you can sit down, have a table in front of you, and have your dinner. I love to do this, and for me this is the best and convenient way to get obentos at Shibuya station. And my last tip is Mega Donkey. Mega Donkey is the absolute favorite of all my visitors, and yes, I like it. I like it, but for Shibuya it's such a crowded store over so many floors. Yeah, it's okay, but I'm always so overexcited. I usually like to buy, for example, I like to buy my bags at Takashimaya at Shinjuku. Takashimaya has a store attached behind Takashimaya. I don't know what was the name. Anyhow, and they are good and cheap bags. Cosmetic. I'm usually not buying the cheap one, but I buy French and Japanese cosmetic. I don't buy Chinese, a little bit Korean, but I do not know much about Korean cosmetic. You might want to check other people out. But here in Japan, I like to use the brand Kate for my eyebrows or for other things in the face. Or Shiseido, yeah, of course, Shiseido is also. But Shiseido is a little bit on the higher end of cosmetic. The problem what I have, the skin tone is never mine when I buy Japanese foundation. So I always buy French foundation. Recently, the French foundation is super expensive, so I cannot go for it. So I try to avoid to use any foundation. Yeah, that's the one thing. The next thing is whiskey. Japanese whiskey is really, really one of the best in the world. I love hibiki, but hibiki you cannot get at the duty-free shop, at least not the past 5 or 6 times I went traveling here in Japan. So what I did, we ordered over Amazon, but it's always 15 to 20,000 yen. So Mega Donkey had hibiki, so you might want to check the prices there. You cannot order from Suntory. I don't know why, don't ask me. We tried many times, we couldn't order hibiki. Yeah, what else they have? Okay, they have an adult department. Oh, perfume. Might be an interesting perfume department, which are not all brands. Yeah, and that's about it. Yeah. I hope you liked my video, and I will see you in my next one. And this is the last one about Shibuya, and then we will move on to Harajuku. I see you then. Bye.